train's going to go on, and now it's going to be who fights Jake Paul next. Who's going to be Jake Paul's next opponent? So right now, scroll down. Let's read a couple of the ones that came out. Scroll down a little bit on the. So first off, Tyron Woodley was the first one. He actually was cornering Ben Askren, which I like this one. So Jake Paul actually tweeted, "Who should I retire next?" and Tyron Woodley said, "Enjoy saying you're a fighter for another day. Try that shit against me. I'm catching a body, and you mob with hoes. I wouldn't walk into a pillow fight with them." Which Tyron's been getting his ass kicked in UFC, but I would like to see Tyron. Let's keep going down, and then we'll go who we want and who we think.
Okay.
BJ Penn said, "Hey Triller, send me a
Jesus
contract,
Christ.
and I'll happily knock this fucker out in one round." He's 45, and he's always had great boxing, but he's old.
He's old, bro. He's fighting people in Hawaii bars and shit.
Yeah.
Like he needs.
He has some CT. He's getting a little crazy drinking too much whiskey.
Oh
now,
wait, hold on.
Yeah, he did a
Can we
video
play this
too.
video real quick? Yeah.
No, BJ's got hands, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No disrespect, but
We're showing for the podcast. We're showing BJ Penn
He's
doing some
hitting
boxing.
mitts.
Look at this jab. It's a quick little jab.
Ooh.
BJ's a warrior too.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see him do this one. 'Cause
He's
I think
little,
he might
though,
want to
right?
retire some older dudes too. Yeah, but he fought 155, 170. He's probably sitting at like 180, 190 right now.
Yeah.
That's what Jake Paul and them fought at. But let's go down.
That was another thing we didn't really mention. You
What?
and I were both concerned when we saw Ben Askren's gut.
Yeah, that was not good
That
at all.
didn't show like he was training that hard. But not like Ben Askren has some fucking crazy body, but
No.
you can tell he didn't. You know.
And again, back to I think I was just overly hoping he would win. Now here's the one, and we're gonna get into who we want and who we think. This is the one that they kind of wanted to. I mean, the Dylan Dennis, let me save the MMA community. I mean, they did a whole on Brendan Schaub's Food Truck Diaries, a setup, and I believe that was set up. I don't believe Jake Paul just rolled up on him filming, maybe, but Jake Paul came up, threw like water balloons at Dylan Dennis.
You think it was set up?
I think so.
I
yeah.
think Jake
It's in
Paul is
Hollywood.
almost like 6'9" to the point like they know what
Brendan,
gets
yeah.
buzz.
And I think Brendan knows. Brendan's like the biggest buzz guy in my opinion.
Yeah.
In that world, like,
I can see it
He
both
hit up
ways.
Jake like, "Yo, we're interviewing today."
Yeah, like how would he know what time in it? Yeah.
Gives them both, Brendan and him.
Right.
So
Yeah.
anyway, he said Dylan Dennis said, "Let me save the MMA community."
Matt
Real quick, go up a little bit more though. Dylan said, "Don't run, Jake Paul. I'm gonna find you. Let's see what it's about." He said, "It's 100%. Send me the contract." So go down. Matt Brown, the Cincinnati Savage. Go on, real quick. Hold on, this one.
damn.
He says, Matt Brown says, "Kind of sucks to say, but Ben Askren going to get whooped tonight. It's a damn shame." That was before. So then he goes, "Still love Ben Askren. I enjoyed his wrestling career and MMA career. He probably would have out-wrestled me, but in an MMA fight, he's
Ben
drunk."
Askren tweeted, "Sorry world." Oh.
Yeah. And then he said, Matt Brown said he'd fight Jake and Snoop at the same time. Chris Liebman says the Jake stand. I've seen it all now. Go down. Jimmy Manuel, who's like 230. I don't know. Cormier says, "Jimmy, please fight him." Jimmy says, "I'd actually cut the weight." Yeah, right. You're too big. Phil Baroni, who's like 50.
I don't even know who that is.
He was an old school guy who used to fight.
Right.
Phil Baroni says, at 52, "I was boxing dorks just like you in 1999. He would get knocked out." These old guys I don't want to see fight because Jake's young and
Snappy.
snappy. Yeah.
He honestly looked good, and
He
I
did.
have I have a lot more respect for Jake Paul after that delivery. You know,
Yeah.
he looked good.
Yeah. And
Putting
Ben,
up-
and
and
Ben
that's
looked
a-
really slow, but yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. That's like because I mean Ben Askren, obviously they chose him for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, he's a
Now he beat a real fighter. Wasn't just an NBA
Right.
player or a YouTuber. So that's cool. It's a good.
And-
It's a step in the right direction. I mean,
Right.
again, we're gonna keep tuning in. I'm excited to see. So
Yeah.
let's go. Is who do you want and who do you think the same, or do you have two different? Like who do you want to
No,
see a
it's
fight
not
and
the
who do you
same for
think?
me.
Okay. So what should we do first? Who do we want or who do we think?
Who do we think?
Okay. So who do we think? Who do you
Yeah.
think? And I'll tell you who
I think Dylan Dennis.
I think Dylan Dennis.
because that's the
And-
easiest.
And Dylan Dennis is I don't want to consider him a friend. I would consider him like associate. I mean, I went to war with him in a hard camp at Dry Sales, and I was literally in his trio groups, me, Dylan, and Munchie. So I consider him like, again, I want to say a friend, but like an associate. So again, that's gonna be another thing where I'm gonna root for Dylan, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like Dylan just a jiu-jitsu guy, doesn't have hands. The only thing I do take with Dylan is at least he's younger. He's a little snappier. He can move better than Askren at this point. So, but again, it could be the same thing. Dylan better be training boxing these last 3 months and for another 6 months until his next fight. But it's again, I could see the same thing with Ben happen. What happened to Ben? Other than again, Dylan's young and probably moves a lot better than Ben. But again, they have the hype with Brendan Schaub on the Food Truck Diaries. They already have some videos, so Dylan seems like the next one.
And strategically from the Paul camp
Yeah,
too.
that's when he can win.
Right.
Now it'd be the younger guy who's,
Yeah.
and he has more followers. Dylan has a lot of followers now, right, on Instagram?
Yeah, because of Connor, of course.
Connor.
But
so we both think Dylan.
Yeah, we both think Dylan.
And then who do you want?
I would love to see like a Tyron Woodley. Like, I just want to see someone that's like a real fighter with a good stand-up game. You know what I mean? That like will be. I mean,
Tyron would be fun.
Tyron would be a lot of fun.
Especially you called him out right there,
and we both have respect for him, and he's on like a drastic decline in MMA. Even though he looked pretty well. What was that last fight?
Against Vicente Luque.
Yeah, he actually
came out banging, but then he got arm tried or something. Or what? Darist.
Yeah, and I definitely have Woodley in that fight. I have Jake Paul against Dylan Dennis. I probably wouldn't have said that before the Ben Askren fight, but I'm obviously gonna cheer for Dylan Dennis again. But I'd have Jake Paul in that fight against Tyron Woodley. I definitely have Woodley. Yeah.
I think I want Dylan. I think I want Dylan just for the sake of it. I think it's the right step up, and I think it's just probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have hands. Jake's going to play this really smart, and that's still big money fight and probably more followers than the Askren just because they have like I said, the Food Truck Diaries thing. Dylan Dennis has more followers, so Dylan will probably have Connor come train with him. It'll be a bunch of silly stuff. But yeah, I want Dylan, and I think probably Dylan.
Do you think Connor would get involved? I don't think so.
He might come help Dylan box.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, he helped him jiu-jitsu. I don't know why he wouldn't.
I
Or
think
maybe
he's trying
Dylan
to
would go out to Ireland or something and box with him.
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe. I feel like Connor's trying to stay away from all this.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He came out again, too. Had a little thing with Nate Diaz, called Nate Diaz on steroids today, but...
He said Nate Diaz was on steroids? I think he's just trying to get on
MMAfighting.com. He wants to keep all these trilogies alive. That's all he's going to be fighting for now, but...
I'd love to see that fight again, though.
What?
Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor?
If he loses to Poirier or wins, he could still have that fight.
Yeah.
So, all right, is that all we got with Jake Paul?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.